I've got a great question from one of the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs who is struggling to find a supplier for a product that they want to bring to market in China. Shipping is currently a nightmare out of China, and so they're struggling with that. So in this video, I want to show you exactly what I would do in that particular situation. Now, if you like this kind of information where I'm helping you build your own e-commerce business, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That way I will know that you want more information just like this. Also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel because we post brand new money-making information just like this each and every day. If you've got any questions for me, questions in the comments and I'll answer them personally for you. With that being said, let's get into it. I think I spoke about this ages ago, how to go about sourcing from other countries, but still, I changed tack, changed direction, went, yeah, that's not working right now, we go source somewhere else. So for me, that was either domestically. So domestically means if you're selling in the US market, for instance, then you source your products in the US market. That's what domestic sourcing means. Or again, for the US, that would mean sourcing in Mexico or some other kind of Latin America or Southern American country. You'd go look there instead, okay? That's the kind of way you do that. Or if you were selling in UK, then you'd start sourcing from Europe, for instance, or from Eastern Europe, or those kind of bloc countries, which are very, very good, by the way. Or you'd source from India. You just saw that Australia's just signed that massive trade deal with India. I don't know if you saw that, but they did. Scotty from marketing, they signed a massive trade deal with India just last week. Huge. Where in effect, what it means is tons and tons of products became cheaper for Aussies because there's now no tariffs to import them into Australia, okay? And vice versa as well. Lots and lots of goods can be now exported from Australia into India without those tariffs being applied to them. That's usually the basis of all trade agreements, but that was that trade agreement. And they've made it very, very easy to do that as well by lifting a lot of the red tape. So India's become all of a sudden overnight a very, very good place to source. But you've got people like Niraj Patel and Brad Holland who've been sourcing and selling in India for friggin' ages and been going great guns with that. So there's those kind of places. Then you've got the Philippines, Vietnam. Vietnam's incredibly good for sourcing from. Philippines, I was sourcing from there for a little while. So if you can't make China work, then I guess you're faced with a decision. I guess you're faced with a decision. And it's actually weirdly a decision I've just gone through myself. I'll tell you that story in a second, although not with regards to China. So you're faced with a decision, and the decision is, at what point do you say, I'm done? I'm not going to try that anymore, okay? I've done as much as I think I can do. What is the point when you say that to yourself? And that's going to be different for everybody. A really bombastic, larrikin of a dude, totally obnoxious, but I really, really liked him, who was worth, I can't remember, like 80 million, something like that. He used to be my mentor, and I used to take him out for dinner once a month, and he'd smoke cigars, drink and flirt with waitresses and just call me a pommy git all the time. But he was a really, really interesting dude. And he told me once that in entrepreneurship, the little known secret is oftentimes the successful people are just the last people standing. It's the people that just haven't given up. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Not the smartest, not the richest, not the most prettiest, certainly not in his case, but just the ones who were the last people standing, And I really took that to heart. I thought it was kind of interesting. And so I kind of made a commitment at that point that I wouldn't quit, and I just wouldn't quit, and that's been really, really useful as well. So, but you have to go through that yourself and kind of think about that for yourself and think about where your own tolerance is. And it is a tolerance because what you're really doing is you're saying to yourself, at what point am I prepared to say to myself, this life is okay now. This life that I was looking to get out of, I guess, to improve in some way, shape, or form, financially for most of us, it's okay now. I'm now prepared to put up with it. I've reasoned to myself that the price is too high to pay to have the thing I want to have. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. The price is too high to pay to have the thing I want to have. Therefore, I'm going to put up with the things that I got. Very different. Very different. So at what point should you say that, you know, you're going to quit with that? Well, I'll give you a little example from my own life. The oodle food business has already been on a bit of a roller coaster, as anybody that's invested will tell you. And I was looking for, so oodle food, it's a breed specific dog food, and we had started with the original ideas, we're going to do what's called a kibble product, which is what most people feed their dogs. I haven't got any packets around for me, but that's what most people feed their dogs. So I was looking in Australia, domestic sourcing, for a fantastic kibble supplier, okay? And so what I did was I found every single kibble maker in Australia, and even those that didn't make kibble, made other stuff, and I thought maybe I can convince them to make some kibble for me. And I put together a product specification sheet. And if you've done my sourcing mastery program, you'll know what that is. But essentially, it's just a big list of everything that you want in your product. Very cool thing to do. And I sent that out to 35 or 40 different suppliers, something like that. And I think 5 of them got back to me. So I was like, oh, 5 got back to me. That's pretty low. And so what I did was I just called all of them instead. And just stalked them. I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to call them all and talk to them all and see if I can get it to do. And turns out that most of the suppliers I spoke to either didn't really want to talk to me for all sorts of different reasons, or they couldn't do what I wanted them to do. So I would have to drop my standards, or they were too busy with their pre-existing things. I ended up with two though really, potential suppliers for a great kibble product. But had, you know, at any point during that, I could have just gone, fuck, this is just crazy, it's too hard. And instead what I've done is I've now started looking in other countries, because again, I'm like, you know, I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter. I'll pay the price. I guess that's what it is, isn't it? I'll pay the price. So at what point should you say, well, if you can't find a supply in China, at what point should you say to yourself, I'm going to go look somewhere else? It's at the point you yourself have got to come to terms with about how far you're prepared to push before you give up. That's what it is. How far are you prepared to push before you'll give up, before you'll say, you know, the thing that I was trying to escape from, actually, I'm okay with it. I don't want to do all that stuff, what's required to become there. I'm happy to stay here instead. And that's cool, whatever it is, you know, but that's what it really boils down to, you know. If we're thinking about it logically, that's what it kind of boils down to. So I don't know what that is for you. I don't know. I wish in my heart of hearts, honestly, that nobody would ever quit. That for me would be awesome, because for me, seeing people stop is just such a shame. I just go, fuck. If you only knew that it's just a tiny bit more effort required to push through. But, you know, you can't save everybody, you can't help everybody. You kind of just got to do what you got to do, you know, so you got to play your own game. But still, when is that point for you? I don't know. If it was me, then what I would do is, if I was getting no luck in China, then I would try other places. I would go outside of China. China is great if you're going to source, for instance, for somewhere in Europe. The shipping is still good. But China to the US, well, it's freaking nuts at the minute. We all know that. It was $3,000 to send a full container load around the world. Now you're looking at 18,000. It was high as 30,000. And so when you see that, you change direction. You change direction. Strong beliefs, loosely held. That's the way. We should source from China. Absolutely. Until such time as it doesn't make sense. And then we source from somewhere else. Strong beliefs, loosely held. That was a video from my regular Monday night Q&A session with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. We are over 2,500 of us now. We're actually the largest professional community of e-commerce entrepreneurs right here in Australia, with sales, by the way, of over $50 million. If you would like to find out more about what we do, and of course how we can help you either get started or indeed build your own e-commerce business, grow and build your own business, get yourself off to www.aussieonlineentrepreneurs.com.au. The link for that is right underneath this video in the description, and I will see you on the inside. Bye for now.